Good afternoon, students. We'll continue with our lecture. So last lecture we had completed with the implementing of file methods. That is, there are 5 methods, which is last one is implementing a file inodes. Then the next is implementing directories. How do you implement directories? What are the methods? So every file must be opened before it is read. So every file to be read, you require to open it prior, and to open it, user provides path name to access the file. Now every user, when it opens the file, it requires a path to be followed in which your directory in which your file is being situated. And when a file is opened, the operating system uses the same path name to find the directory entry. So in the system, when it wants to reflect those entry, it will check the path name on the user specified path where the file is situated. As we have discussed the file allocation methods, the directory entry contains the information needed to find the disk blocks of the file. To find the disk blocks of the file, directory entry is very important. In contiguous allocation, this information may be the disk address of the entire file. So this disk allocation entry is important. Directory entry is somewhere important when you do contiguous allocation in the disk address of the file. So only one single component can be a whole in a one contiguous file allocation. In linked list allocation, directory contains the starting and ending block number of a file. In index allocation, directory contains starting block number of a file. In all schemes, the main function of directory system is to map the ASCII code, that is ASCII ASCII code name of the file onto the information needed to find the data. So what is main important component here is directory entry, that is a disk address number, which is being applied to all the methods of the file allocation are there. So what is being traced? The one thing which is traced from this directory entry is the ASCII name, the actual standard format name for the file. Every file also has its attributes. So now every file will have its attribute. It will have name, date of creation, date of opening, last open, that is data size, then the name of the file, all such things, type of file. So different file attributes we have already discussed. Directory entry stores these attributes of file. So directory entry also stores these attributes of the file into it. And in the simple design, a directory consists of list of fixed size of entries, one per file, containing a file name of fixed length, a structure of file attribute, and one or more disk address spaces up to some maximum denoting where disk blocks are. So what do directory entry do? They keep the attributes of the file, then related to these attributes, they will map the files with the help of their structures, and they will have their disk addresses also, the data structure containing these attributes. So they will map the files according to these attributes is done in the implementation of directories. Some systems use inodes. So inodes also define the structure of the file. So in some directories they will just denote it with the help of inodes. Some directories only map it with the help of attributes. So these are the two types. Implementing directories with the help of long file names. So above two approaches are corresponding to MS-DOS. So these approaches were for MS-DOS system, that is using short file names from 1 to 8 characters and optional 3 further characters. Now in Unix version 7, file names were 1 to 14 characters. So file name could be of 14 characters totally, including the extension. And in MS-DOS, the file name could be of 8 characters and 3 characters for extension. That is, suppose my name is Prajakta, it is of 8 characters, dot extension is .doc, that is 3 characters for their extension in MS-DOS to map the file in directory system. If it is Unix file, Unix operating system file, then the character could be 14 characters, and with 14 characters that extension also is included in those 14 characters only. All modern operating systems support longer and variable length file names. Nowadays, your modern operating system do not go with this character specification. Modern operating system can be of variable length. They can be of any number of characters. Following two approaches to implement. So they follow two approaches, and those approaches are inline or in a heap. Inline means, I'll go with the name first. I'll explain you what does the name actually mean, and then we'll go with the process. So first one is inline. So when I say inline, when I tell the students please sit in line according to your roll numbers, what do students do? Every student will sit according to their roll number. Even if 5 is not there, we will leave those 5 space, and then we'll sit on the 6th roll number will sit on the 6th place. Likewise, when I am sitting in an inline process, I have a sequence of format that is called as inline. When I say sit in a heap, sit as like you want, what students will do? They will go and sit with their friends, they will sit according to their groups, they will sit according to their comfort, they will see if their fan is there or not, everything that is according to the comfort zone. So this is the second type, that is in heap. Means what? Fixed size of all directory entries is not considered. So now when you go for a new modern operating system, the count of characters which you can give to your file in a directory implementation is 255 characters at a time. So your name can be of 255 characters depending on which OS you are using or which system you are using. Since it is not common to have all files such longer names, directory space would be wasted. If you give these names also longer names, your directory space gets wasted, nothing else. In this approach, fixed size of all directory entries are not considered. In each directory, entry contains fixed section which begins with length of the entry and then followed with the data, fixed format, and then the files attributes. So there are, one is support longer and variable length. So there are two approaches. One is inline handling of long names, and second one is long handling using heap. So these are the two examples. So in the first one, what it will do, it will go for the variable actual length of the, that is the size of the file, then it will show its attributes, and then they will arrange each file entries which begins with their fixed section. Then they'll arrange the second file, the length of the file, then they have their attributes, and then the again the data of the file. Likewise, each another file will be arranged in a line, that is in a sequence format. When you go for second example, termination of each file is shown. That is, it is not compulsory that it is there in the, can you see each and every data here for the characters is being specified for each and every file. Here you have a heap of values from which they will take their pointers and identify which characters do they want, and according to which they will allocate their characters for file. But a drawback, that is a disadvantage of heap is, after removing a file, a variable size free space has been initiated into the directory. So every file if you remove, these initiated space will become free and nobody can use it depending on their file characters. It may happen that next file to come may not be accommodated in this free space, which is again a drawback. Solution on this issue is compaction of directory. Another problem is that if single directory entry spreads in several pages, page fault occurs during reading the file. So if this single file is replicated or duplicated 3 to 4 times, while opening that file, it creates a problem for the user to get open or to get the values or data. Then the next topic here is shared files. So what does shared file means? Sharing means dividing. No, it's not dividing. Sharing means accessing in multiple ways for according to our convenience. So while working on a common task, many people need to share their files. So if 3 to 4 people are working on the same task, they need to go with the same access of file, and that time you do sharing of files. In these shared file appears simultaneously in different directories belonging to different users. So now if I have been given, or three or more people have been given the same task and they are working on that same task, but according to their convenience they are saving those files in different disk. That is, if I am a one person from that, I am using that file in C drive, another person is using it in D drive, and the third person is using it in F drive. So what does happen and what are the actual reasons of sharing the files? This is how your share file system is. Can you see one major thing? If A is one directory, it is using A file. B is one directory with which it has many files, but C is one directory, it has one file, one subdirectory, and then subdirectory has two subdirectories more which has files, from which one file is been shared by B directory, B subdirectory as well. So such linking is also possible using share files. When several users are working together on a project, they often need to share these files. So now sharing of files is common when they go for a common task or common work. As a result, it is often convenient it's often convenient for shared file to appear simultaneously in different directories belonging to different users. So it can be simultaneously that same, that different people will be accessing that file in different directories according to their convenience. The file system in figure 4.7 again only with C's file now present in B's directory as well. The connection between B's directory and the shared file is called a link. So now when you see this, one file is shared by B subdirectory and C subdirectory as well. So these connection is called as link of file. The file system itself is now a directed acyclic graph or DAG. Now when you see this, there is no certain sequence, there is no certain cyclic performance. Anybody can access anybody's file. So this type of format is called as directed acyclic graph rather than a tree. Now this is not said to be a hierarchy of trees, it is said to be a directed acyclic graph which does not has a format. They just follow the norms and do their task. It cannot be called as a tree or hierarchy. Having the file system with a DAG complicates maintenance. So complicates maintenance means when two people are accessing the same file, the maintenance reservoir for the directory becomes difficult, as n number of copies of that same file will be replicated into the directory entry system. That is, sharing file is convenient, but it also introduces some problems. If one file is shared by three people over a same system, sharing could be easy, work could be easy, but it has problems also. That is, it has some disadvantages. That is, if it shows one entry in B's directory, subdirectory, it will show one entry in C's directory as well. But while calculating it into the directory, while making the user the visible directory entries, it will replicate with two different entries of single file. So that can be a problem. Shared files, when situation prior to linking, it was this one. When it is linked, it is showing you owner C, that is C has created it, but the count is 2 because 2 people are accessing it at one single system. Next is B's directory owner C and count 1. Again, if I separate these two, I will have one owner, that is C only, that is C. If C is deleted, and who is the owner? The first creation person is only the owner of the file. So the rights of those file become for the first creation only. That is, this is the criteria. Means what? I again repeat. First, the file was created by owner C and the count of the file is 1. That is, this file is only contained 1 into the system. When B is sharing the same file, it is showing you owner C, that is the first created person is only the owner, but the count here is 2 because this file is accessed 2 times into different subdirectories. Once when the third actual owner is deleted, still the system will identify this with owner C only, not the actual person who is accessing now. This could be a drawback as well. This problem can be solved in two ways. In first solution, disk blocks are not listed in directories but in a little data structure associated with the file itself. The directories would then be point just to the little data structure. This is the approach used in Unix, where the little data structure is the inode. Inode changes can be made through to solve the problem. In the second solution, B links to C file, having the system to create a new file of type link. The entering that file and entering the file B's directory, the new file contains just the path name of the file to which it is linked. B reads from the link file. C, the operating system sees that the file being read from is of link, looks up the name of the file and reads that file. This approach is symbolically linking. Symbolically identifying the path is called as symbolically linking, to contrast it with traditional linking, that is actual linking of the file. Each of these method has its drawbacks. There are some problems, but according to the convenience, we could create its inode record for the owner and then show it reflect into the inode table. Next is journaling the file system. When we say journaling the file system, how does we journal it? In journaling, changes done to the file system are in sequence written to a journal. So, whatever changes are done to the file system are written in a journal. A transaction is set of operations that perform a specific task. Transaction commits if it written in the to the journal. So, transaction operations are also written in the journal. After the system call during doing changes to the file system, write can return to the user process, permitting it to persist execution. So, what are the actual steps to remove a file in Unix? So, journaling is being done. Remove the file from its directory, that is deleting. Release inode to pull the free inodes. Now release that inode values also which it was accessing in the inode table. Return all disk blocks to pool of free disk blocks. So all disk blocks which are free, please pool those. Pool means to share those over whosoever require it. That is the journaling method. The actual summarization method which is done for the journaling system, that is the documentation system. This can be done over for accessing the file. So these are the topics. We'll stop here. We'll continue the next topic in the next lecture. Thank you.